In this video, several steps how to develop iOS app from idea to release. I developed my first app last year. I still use it from time to time and there are several downloads. But the main idea behind it was to learn. I read a book about Swift, I learned Swift UI, I learned how to add subscription and how to publish it to App Store. This year I decided to try again, and this time I logged all my actions. I wrote a weekly tweet about my progress. The app is quite simple. I use Instagram, and when you post on Instagram, it reframes the photo with aspect ratio 4:5 or 5:4. And sometimes I don't like it. I want to keep my proportions of the sides. And the obvious solution for this is to add a frame with the required aspect ratio. Also, I found that some photos looks better when they are framed. Here are my steps from idea to release and some obstacles on the way. The first step is idea validation. I checked the competitors' apps. They're either too complex, either UI is not good. For example, I can search for a photo, or I have a lot of albums in some folders and they show them as a plain list, so it's difficult to find the album. So looks like there is a request for such apps and I can do something good and usable, at least for me. Then I registered my app in the App Store to reserve the name. The next step is development. I block 25 minutes each day and I decided to share my progress on Twitter weekly for accountability. For me, the scheduling like this works better because it creates momentum and I have a progress each day. And when I have more time and energy, I can use more. I defined what will be in an MVP, minimal valuable product, what will be in the next versions. I decided to start with a free product that makes one thing and add a subscription plan 1 or 2 months later for the new features. I drew some screens and started coding. This time I used ChatGPT. Sometimes it works well, sometimes it points into the wrong direction, but at the end I found that it speeds up the process. At the same time, I made my first app free and changed the name. It started to get some downloads. Maybe I'll rethink how to develop it later. After several weeks, I had something for test and I started to prepare the release. I published it on TestFly and I asked my sister to test it. I made some corrections based on her valuable feedback, prepared screenshots in Canva and asked my wife to draw the icon. For the next app I will ask my daughter to make marketing and then I send it to the review. The review process took me several days, mainly because I wanted the keywords Instagram and Insta in my title and subtitle. I got several rejections because of this. I tried to appeal, it didn't work, so I published a version without these keywords. And a week later, with a small bug fix, I included the keyword Instagram into the subtitle. The other rejection for another version that I had was design spam. They wrote, "We noticed your app shares a similar binary metadata and or concept as apps submitted to the App Store by other developers, with only minor differences." It was disappointing and it's kind of strange because my app is already in the App Store and there are users and I provide bug fix and new features. It took me several weeks to solve it and I almost gave up. I wrote replies, I tried to appeal and I tried to publish new versions with minor changes. In the end, one of my replies was noticed. I understand the importance of review process to have good apps in the App Store, but sometimes it's not easy for developers. I hope I will not have it anymore. Now the results. To track time I use Toggle Timer. I spent 30 hours in a span of 8 weeks If I will work on it full day as my main work, I can do it in less than a week. It's good to know. The first week I got 70 downloads, then it reduced, and now I have around 3 downloads per day. It's not a big number, but it feels good that someone tried to use my application, and the numbers on the App Store dashboard looks good too. Now I'm developing the new features that are not in MVP and fixing bugs. Then I will develop the paid features. I will be happy if it will generate some money, at least for coffee. It will take another, I think, 8 weeks. So if you want to see the progress and updates, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and see you.